Can you broadcast, Letty?
All right, we're actually broadcasting now. Mary? We lost you, Mary. Oh, that's weird. All right, guys, we can just wait a moment and for her to jump back on. Let's see. Should I stop broadcasting?
Should we?
She said she got stuck and she had to leave, so.
Welcome, participants. We can see the 5 of you at the moment. If you'd like to introduce yourself in the chat section, we would love to hear from you.
All right, cool. We have some administrators here.
Welcome to everyone. I feel like there's a lot of dead silence. I don't know what to say. Should we just...
All right, she said just to go. So,
Okay.
good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jeff, of course, for being here. I guess to start, we can go around with our introductions. So if you want to start, Dina, that'd be great. Or I guess I should start. My name is Letty Hernandez. I am the coordinator for Monterey and Santa Cruz counties. And if, I guess the question can be, how do you like to eat your carrots? For me, I actually prefer them baked in some carrot cake.
Nice.
So Dina, if you'd like to go next.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us. Jeff's joining us from Grimmway Farms this morning. So again, our question was in regards to carrots, which was appropriate. And honestly, I love carrots anyway. I love them fresh. I love them dipped in ranch. I love them baked. I love them every way. I'm the Farms Leadership Coordinator from Tehama County, so I'm coming to you from Red Bluff. I'm excited to hear how Grimmway is handling this, being another necessity, and I'm sure they are actually having ramped up contracts and stuff, trying to fill all of our grocery stores and stuff. So thanks again, Jeff. We look forward to this conversation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Montoya. I'm the Farms Leadership Coordinator in Sacramento for the Sacramento Valley. And my favorite way of eating carrots is actually in tempura. When I didn't first like tempura, I actually liked carrots a lot more raw to begin with. I don't know, just over the course of the years, little by little, carrot tempura just sort of grew on me. So, yeah.
Good morning. My name is Katie Wortman. I am the Central Valley Leadership Coordinator in Fresno. The way I like is also a little bit of everything, but I'm really craving some carrot cake since that just came up. So sounds good. I also like to juice my carrots and add that option into what I'm eating. So thank you, Jeff, again for joining us.
Good morning. My name is Romy Whataburger, and I'm the Kern County Farms Coordinator. I would say mine would be either raw, or I do like it, even though it's a little bit in fried rice is my favorite. Thank you, Jeff, again, as we would be coming to you this month, but obviously got canceled, and hoping that we can in the future. So thank you.
Welcome.
So Jeff, go ahead. You are the president of Grimmway Farms. Go ahead and introduce yourself to us and take it from there.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me this morning. My name is Jeff Huckaby. I am the president of Grimmway Farms. We're based in Bakersfield, California, primarily a carrot company, but we also grow on over 40,000 acres of organic vegetable land throughout the country and do 65 other organic crops. So I'm a fourth generation farmer. Been in agriculture my whole life. My grandfather was a farmer and grew up at an early age working on the farm, and have been in the carrot industry for 30 years and have worked my way from being the carrot sampler that was out pulling samples in the field to actually being the president of Grimmway. A large company here in the Central Valley. We employ about 9,500 employees. We have 19 different facilities, and we're actually farming in 7 different states, and have a year-round production to where we produce about 10 million pounds of carrots a day, 6 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. So it's become quite the operation for carrots. But then, like I said, we do a number of other crops, and organics has really taken off in the last several years. And we can talk a little bit about that later on, but excited to be here and answer any questions you guys might have.
So I know one of the most important questions, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, where do baby carrots come from? Can we start
Okay.
there?
Yeah, so you know, everyone always wants to know, where do you grow all these little tiny baby carrots? And you know, our carrots, a lot of people refer to them as babies. We call them cut and peel. And when you look at a baby carrot, so the original carrots were obviously the cello pack, full size, full length carrot. And years ago, about 30 years ago, a couple companies, Mike Urosic and Son, started playing with taking odd shaped carrots and cutting them into pieces so that they could actually get further pack out. You know, if a carrot, the problem with a carrot is everyone expects it to look nice and straight and perfect. And, you know, you can have a crooked carrot, or you could have something wrong with it, it's forked or misshapen, but the carrot still eats really well. But no one would buy a funny shaped carrot. So they started taking the smaller ones and the pieces and cutting them into 2-inch pieces and processing them. And it started a trend of taking small pieces of carrots and eating them raw and snacking. And multiple carrot companies started saying, all right, people are starting to buy these little pieces of carrots and snacking on them. So how can we replicate that? How can we do it? And what started as a coal or an off-type carrot has grown into an industry that we grow specifically for baby carrots. We grow certain varieties. And when we say babies, they are actually the full cello-type carrot, but they're taken at a very young age. So instead of a carrot being 150 to 160 days old, it may only be 110 days old. We don't want the carrot to be any bigger than about an inch in diameter at the crown, and then it tapers down. So we go through and we plant very thick, and we plant populations that will allow the carrot to get length, but not too much girth. And so we come in, we grow these varieties, we plant them accordingly, and then we harvest them at a young age. And when we come in, and then we run them through the facility, and we cut them into 2-inch pieces. And then we sort them further into different diameters, whether they're 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch or a 1/2 inch. And then we divide them up and put them in a bag. So the baby carrot, yes, they are younger than a regular cello type full grown carrot, but they're not truly grown 2 inches long and uniform like that. It's a matter of taking them and cutting them into pieces and then bagging them. And when that process started, the consumption of carrots went up more than triple, to where everyone, before baby carrots, it was mostly a cooking carrot. So you had to peel it yourself, you cut it up, you put it in stews, or you know, you put it in and simmered it. You did something more from a cooking standpoint. When baby carrots started coming along, people started using them as a snack food. They started putting them in dips and taking them as a healthy snack, as an alternative to potato chips or something maybe that was thought of not quite as healthy. And that trend took off and really grew the carrot categories to where we could really focus on growing better varieties and better tasting carrots specifically for cut and peeled. So that's kind of how it developed. And today it is significantly bigger category than the whole carrot itself.
Very good. Thank you, Jeff. Another question I have for you is, if we were out in your fields right now, tell us what's going on. Are you guys planting? What's happening out there right now?
Sure, and I wish you guys could join us out in the field, because it's a little bit more exciting to be out in the field versus here in an office. But and I try to spend as much as my time out looking at the fields, because when you have a passion for farming and being in the middle of it, you just really like to be out there and point out what's going on. But so for us, like I said, we do about 10 million. We harvest about 10 million pounds of carrots a day. So in order to do that, we're planting every day and we're harvesting every day. So this time of year, we are in the Imperial Valley and Coachella Valley of Southern California. The carrots during the winter season, because of the cool climate here in Kern County, it's a little too cold for carrots. So we go down and harvest what we call our winter season, which starts in January, February, March, April, May-ish. We pull the carrots out of the Imperial and Coachella Valley. So we're actually harvesting down there today. Those carrots then get loaded into a truck and are brought up to our facilities here in Kern County and outside of Arvin and Bakersfield. And that's where we process them. We are planting already for our summer season. So today we would be in Cuyama, we would be in Lancaster, we would be in Shandon, working our way up the coast and towards Northern California. We're also planting in Washington right now, and we're getting ready to start planting in Colorado as soon as it warms up. But if you were here in our fields today in the Bakersfield area, and I have 2 80-acre blocks right outside my window here that just look absolutely beautiful. They're weed-free, they're really gorgeous, they're organic fields, and they're in the cultivation stage. So the carrots are 3 to 6 inches tall. They'll be harvested probably within 2 months. We've gone through and planted them several months ago. We've cultivated them, we've side dressed them with fertilizer, and now we're just actually watering them and letting them grow. So we would be looking at a field maybe being cultivated. We would look at fields that the tops were already closing in the furrows. And so you would have the ability to see carrots in several different stages, but no harvesting and no planting yet. We will be back here in Bakersfield in about 3 to 4 weeks, harvesting the carrots. And then once we start here in a few weeks, we will continue to harvest in Bakersfield till about mid-July. And then we move to the outlying areas when it gets a little too hot in Bakersfield. Those of you that have been in Bakersfield know it gets really warm in the middle of summer. So we have to go outside of the area. So we go to the higher elevations from Tehachapi, that's at 4,000 feet, to Cuyama, that's at 3,000, and then go up and down the coast. And we will do that all the way until mid-October. Then we come back into Bakersfield. So Bakersfield's the hub, and then we grow in all the different regions around Bakersfield to get year-round production.
Wow, that's amazing. So do you grow anything else other than carrots?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So we were a carrot company from the beginning. That's what we wanted to be. We wanted to be, we're the largest carrot company in the world. We grow over 44,000 acres of just carrots. And when you look at a carrot, you grow a carrot once every 3rd year in the same soil. So when you're farming carrots, you also have to figure out what are you going to do in years 2 and 3. You've got to grow some other rotation crops. So several years ago, 20 years ago, we really started playing with organic farming. So you have our conventional carrots and our organic carrots. Our conventional carrots, we try to use as many outside growers as we can, so that when they grow the carrots for us next year, it's up to them to grow potatoes or corn or whatever they want to do as the rotation. And then 3 years later, they come back and they're growing carrots for us again in that same field. Organics, we decided we were going to control all the organics ourselves. So we started farming organic carrots on property that we owned. And then we realized, okay, now we got to do something in years 2 and 3. We don't have outside growers to do this. So we started working rotations around and growing lettuce and broccoli and in multiple crops as a rotation. And that business has grown to where it is over 40,000 acres of organic veg. And we actually do 65 other items besides carrots. In those off seasons, carrots are still the big one. And then we have to find all these other crops to grow in years 2 and 3. And we grow about 65 different ones. And we grow watermelons, we grow radishes, you name it. We have all these different crops that we grow in the off season so that, 3 years, we're back here growing organic carrots on our property. So although we wanted to be a carrot company, due to rotation, we were forced to go and grow all these other items. And it's been a blessing. We've done really well with it. And it makes us extremely valuable to the customer because they know they can get more than just carrots from us.
That's really cool. Mr. Huck, we have a quick question. You mentioned lettuce growing. Number one, is it organic lettuce you're growing or non-organic?
So good question. No, it is organic. It was part of our rotation with our organic carrots. So we actually grow 7 different lettuces. We're not a bag salad company. We do the full commodity, so you get a full head. And we grow a red and green romaine. We grow a red and green butter, a red and green leaf, and then we grow iceberg. And we do that year round. So we follow all the different growing areas and regions, and we pack it under the Cal Organic label. That's our organic label that you see in all the major retailers and Whole Foods and all these different companies. But it's a key part of our business to be able to rotate some of those items with our carrots. And the lettuce is a big one for us.
Very cool. I actually just learned about butter lettuce. It's not my favorite. It's my favorite. It's the best for BLTs, hands down. And I'd never heard of red lettuce, so I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, and we do a red romaine that is a really striking product when you're used to having the green romaine and you get the contrast of the exact same plant but very bright red. And what we're finding in our business is the more variety we have in color, the more the chefs are really enjoying these products. They like to have a mixture of all these different colors when they're preparing food in these restaurants, or even the chefs at home that want to make the plate look a little bit more desirable. And so color has really played into our program the last several years, which has also led to the development of colored carrots. And so if you go to the supermarket today, there are a lot of colors other than just orange carrots out there. There are a lot of rainbow packs with multiple colors of carrots. So yes, the lettuce is big to us, and but it's also a lot of fun to grow and very important.
Very cool. Another follow-up, actually, I have just recently picked up a pack of rainbow carrots. And I had known about the purple carrots before because I had seen them on labels before, and I believe it's used for a coloring. It's a purple to add darker color to fruit drinks. But I had never seen the yellow or the white before, and I can't remember if you said there's another one as well. What were the differences, benefits perhaps? I've heard that the orange ones are great for your eyes. I don't know if that's true. I never actually followed up on that one, but I'm curious about the other ones.
Yeah, so obviously orange carrots are the dominant carrot that you see out there, and it's been the carrot that has been fine-tuned and bred over time to give us the perfect slender carrot, the better tasting carrot, the better eye appeal. So there's been a lot of breeding over time to perfect the orange carrot. But the original carrots were multicolored that came out of the Middle Eastern areas, to where it wasn't uncommon to have a purple or a white carrot. And about 10 years ago, we decided to put a focus on working with the seed companies and working with breeding really good colored carrots. So presently we grow a white, we grow a yellow, we grow a red, a purple, and then we have the orange carrots. And if you look on a scale, it's probably 95% orange, but the colored carrots are coming a long ways in the last few years. If you look at the breeding of them, they've only really been focusing the last 10 years on breeding these new colors. So uniformity of the carrot, taste profile, and stronger tops that you grow a better carrot haven't been fine-tuned quite like the orange carrots, but the demand for these colored carrots is increasing. So the carrot seed companies are spending a lot of time fine-tuning these products. And for us, it's exciting to grow. Every one of them grows a little differently. Some are faster, some of them grow fatter, and some longer. And so trying to manage that to get a uniform carrot that we can cut into 2-inch pieces or sell as a bunch or sell as a whole carrot, it's been a little tricky. But each one of these carrots has a little different composition, and it has a different antioxidant, has a little bit different flavor. So those looking for, you know, the different health benefits from carrots can get carrots with lutein and beta carotene and lycopene. All these different antioxidants are available through the different carrots. And so I don't know if that's a driver for people buying them, or more so that they're unique looking. The taste profile is a little different. And I can tell you 10 years ago, a lot of the colored carrots did not taste very well. So if you had them in a bowl with a bunch of orange ones, you ended up eating all the orange ones and leaving the colored ones out because they might look pretty, but they didn't taste very good. The seed company's done a really good job over the last 10 years breeding taste and changing the sugar content in some of them to where today most of them taste pretty good, and you know, they really look well. We take those carrots and we're doing a lot of cuts where we make a chip out of them that looks like a potato chip in the various colors. And one of the big hits for us is the shredded carrot. So a lot of our carrots we take and we shred, and when you shred all these different colors and put it in a bowl and put it in a salad, it's quite attractive. So we're getting a lot of good feedback and desire for those shredded carrots. And so I think you'll continue to see more and more colored vegetables and colored carrots in the future.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Well, Jeff, we have a question from one of our students. I'm going to go ahead and ask it. And it was asked, is the shelter in place affected your carrot business, the harvest to the processing? And has the restaurant or grocery businesses affected the demand? So can you talk to us kind of what's happening now with the COVID-19?
You bet. That's a great question, and very timely, obviously, with what's going on. So, you know, farming is an essential industry. So we are being asked to continue production. And I think if you look at it on the grand scheme of things, you know, that people are running out of toilet paper and bottled water and people are panicking, but they still have all the produce that they seem to need out on the stores. And who knows what would happen if all of a sudden the farms in the United States, and especially in California, where we produce so much for the nation, if we stopped and the shelves went empty across the nation, then I think true panic would set in if they couldn't go and get the products that they need. So we're an essential industry and we continue to work. We've had to change some things so that we protect our employees. Our employees are the number one, you know, asset that we have. And so we want to protect them, but we still want to feed the nation. So if you look at what's happening for Grimmway, is that our business has never been busier. And it's interesting if you look at our mix of where we sell of all our products, about 10% of it goes to the restaurants directly. And that business is way off. All of these restaurants are now out. They're shut down. They're sending very little products out or food through delivery or takeout. But the grand scheme of things, it's way down. And so our sales to those customers that buy strictly for food service are way down. But the retail pull and increased demand at the major companies, the major retailers across the nation, has been anywhere from 50% to double increase of what we're used to doing. And so for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nonstop, in order to keep the supply full. And it's been tough. Our guys are getting a little tired. We've run so hard. We were very fortunate and very blessed to have come into this season with probably an oversupply of carrots, which doesn't happen very often. The yields down in Imperial and Coachella Valley were phenomenal this year, higher than we've ever seen. And we carried a little extra acreage. And because of the quality and the yields, we had excess product that fortunately worked well into this demand. So we have been running nonstop to fill these orders, and it's worked out really well for us. We're maybe not as efficient getting everything out because of the spacing requirements that we've had to spread people out in our facilities. If you look at a facility like the carrot processing facility, where the carrots go through multiple areas in the plant, we had to divide those areas up and say, okay, you group of employees don't move to this group, you stay separated. Our employees go through and get their temperatures taken before they're allowed into the facility. We have extra wash stations for them to wash up. Early on, you couldn't get masks. You were asked not to use masks. Now you're asked to use masks. So we're working closely with the CDC and the FDA to make sure we're abiding by all the rules and regulations so that we can continue to produce a healthy product and keep the retail stores and grocery stores full. And our team, I'm really proud of them. They've done a great job keeping the supply up. And when we talk about the volume that we do in carrots, we fill all the grocery stores across the nation. And I'm proud of our team for continuing to work hard and jump through some obstacles with the spacing, with the extra sanitation. And we had to hire more people to make sure our sanitation was done often, more so than what was normally required just from food safety, because we had to talk about our employee safety. And, we're learning every day as you go. They change the rules on you, and all of a sudden you gotta, okay, we gotta have masks. We can't have masks before. And so we're learning through this. Never seen anything like this before, but very fortunate to have had the supply. If we didn't have an overabundance of carrots with these great yields, we actually would have run out by now, because the demand was so high. We would have had to go back to each customer and say, you normally take X, that's all we can sell you, because that's all we planted for you and that's all we were expecting. But we haven't had to do that because of these great yields. We were able to say, all right, if you want double, we can actually do double. Can't do that the rest of the year. We eventually will run out, but things seem to be slowing down a little bit now. And we were just very blessed that we were able to continue to feed the nation. And at the same time, we worked a deal out with, we have a great Secretary of Agriculture in California with Secretary Kern Ross, and I'm on the CDFA board with her. And Karen reached out to several of us and said, hey, we have a lot of food banks that are running low. What can we do? And our company was able to step up and say, not only are we taking care of our customers, we actually have some excess carrots, and let's send truckload after truckload after truckload of carrots in 1-pound bags to all of these food banks. And, that's been one of the satisfying parts of this whole deal having to deal with COVID-19, is being able to reach out and help and be in a position that we're able to help fill these food banks. So we're working closely with them and with the secretary and doing everything that we can. And I know a lot of other farmers are out there doing the same. And it's a great time to be in agriculture, and I'm just proud of the industry and all of our employees here at Grimmway.
That's great. That's great. It sounds like you guys were blessed, and then you're also being a blessing for others. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do on the CDFA board?
Yeah, so like I said, I've been on the board here with Karen Ross, our secretary, for a couple years now. And, like I said, Karen's an amazing Secretary of Ag. She knows the industry. She knows everyone from down in the Imperial all the way to Northern California, and she knows what the needs are of farmers. And And we as a board, the members on the board, it works as an advisory type board for the governor, and it works through Secretary Ross, and she's constantly in contact with Governor Newsom and explaining what the needs of agriculture, what the needs of farmers are up and down the valley, whether it is regulations that are put in place, whether it's water needs. She is there to be the spokesman to the governor for our industry. And then I was appointed by Governor Brown to be on this board with Secretary Ross. And we hear, we have a monthly meeting, and a lot of them are, we've got business to take care of, whether we're looking at different diseases that are popping up within agriculture, whether it's the citrus division or poultry or things. And, we've got to be able to discuss what type of money needs to get thrown towards preventing or helping those particular industries. But we're also a sounding kind of board for Secretary Ross and the governor. So we recently, until kind of the shelter in place happened, we were moving around and going to different counties and just listening. Water is becoming more and more, it's always been important, but it's becoming a bigger and bigger topic as we have less and less water to deal with and to use in farming every year. So we were working as a sounding board for kind of the government to be able to go to San Luis Obispo. We were planned to go to Imperial, and we got that one postponed. We were at the Tulare Farm Show, and the public is allowed to come in and say, this is the need that I have. It could be someone from a citrus company or the dairy industry, and they come to us and they say, we're in deep need for this action, or this law that's going in place will affect us significantly, and I'm not sure everybody's looked at it, and here's how it would really affect us. And so we are supposed to take that information and discuss it with the secretary and then send it on to the governor so that he is in the know of exactly what the needs of our industry is. And so it's been nice to be on the board. I've gotten to know some really great people that are very passionate on the board. And I lost you there, but there you go. But I'm enjoying it and enjoying the people, and really have a lot of respect for Secretary Ross, who's done a great job communicating and being there for our industry.
That's awesome that you do so much for agriculture and advocating. We don't want to take up any more of your time. We know it's very valuable. You're very busy. It's just after 11, and we just want to say thank you. We had a little bit of a rocky start, and usually Mary's hosting, but I think we pulled it together quite nicely. We just had a panelist say great session. And so thank you so much for your time, and we will be in contact, and good luck with everything, and stay safe and healthy.
Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.